Hello, my name is Eddie Cortez, and I'm the specialist for the Migrant Seasonal Head Start program in San Joaquin County. And I was a former student for the Head Start program in Walnut Grove in Sacramento County. Years later, when I was 19 years old, I was able to seek employment at the same agency that served my brother and my sister in the Migrant Seasonal Head Start program. I met the teacher, I met my mother's caseworker. So I want to start with what I remember about the Head Start program. I just remember being dressed against my will. I'm not a morning person, so she would dress me as I was asleep and just tell me you gotta get up. And so finally, as I got up, I would arrive at a church, and inside that church was a preschool program. And my mother was a farm worker at the time, so we didn't last there long. We ended up moving to LA. But one of the things about the Head Start program was that it empowered a 15-year-old rape victim who 3 years later put me into the Head Start program, who was empowered to learn and to be proud of who she was, to be a creative parent. Because with those skills, she was able to talk to me, teach me, and we were really good friends. She learned to stand firm, to be proud, and go against the society that she was confronted with. It wasn't the norm for this, young woman having a child, and above all, not avoiding the consequence of the rape. So I tell her that I'm the blessing of that consequence. So what I have accomplished in life so far has that the Head Start opportunity gave me survival skills. I believe that if I wouldn't have had the exposure to the Head Start program, I wouldn't be here today. And I know this because at the age of 8 years old, I found a gun. And when I found this gun, I was playing with it. And I remember tapping it in front of my brother's forehead. He was 2 years old at the time. And I told him, "You want to play? You want me to shoot you?" And so, of course, he's a 2-year-old. You don't know. He was just laughing. But I believe it was divine intervention because I would put pressure to that trigger. And why it never went off, it was only divine intervention and why it didn't go off. At the age of 13, I was a slave to drugs, but it was mentors who started surfacing that came into my life and started rescuing me. So the other day, the keynote speaker was talking about mentors. You don't look for mentors, mentors look for you. And that's exactly what has been happening. I'm thankful for the mentors and the leaders that have influenced me to survive and to take me where I am. At the age of 14, I conceptualized suicidal steps. And I believe that during what I've learned in Head Start, the positive and the negative consequences of the choices that we make. And whatever I learned in that Head Start classroom had to impact me where I didn't make the choice or the actual steps to commit suicide. Years later, I was told that I would never go to school. My mother my parents now, they've always been supportive about education, but they've never really known how to actually help you or support in the sense of encouragement, right? Because they were never encouraged to finish education. But I've been able to finish a degree where many of I've asked my parents if anybody in the family has received a degree or gone to school, and very few have even received their high school diploma. So I'm fortunate and blessed that I had the mentors and the leaders in my life that continue to support me and guide me to finish my degrees, and also currently right now I'm working towards a specialization in infants and toddlers. And I was just accepted to the fellowship of the PITC. So when I told my wife that I was accepted to the PITC, she said, "What the hell is that?" And I said, "It's the Harvard of infants and toddlers." be a visionary. I want to become a Head Start Fellow. And maybe replace it. Essentially, you know, wherever destiny wants to take me in the Head Start career, that's where I'll be. As long as Head Start is part of my life, that's where I'm. Why is it important for Head Start to continue to exist? Look at me, I'm the poster child of the Head Start program. I'm child outcomes. I'm family and community engagement. So next time you think about outcomes, think about me. So I'm thankful for the visionaries and the pioneers of the 1960s, like Sergeant Schreiber. I'm thankful to him for his vision and for his dedication, and his colleagues that helped conceptualize and mobilize the Head Start program into small communities, specifically mine, where it was a very small community in a rural area that until this day there is not a Head Start there. We had, at that time there was a bus that would go and pick the Head Start children. So I'm thankful to that, because I could have been a murderer, I could have been a drug addict, and I could have been a suicidal statistic. But rather, I'm an alumni of the Head Start program. Thank you.